Do you know how much alcohol you actually consume when you have your favorite drink? It's a question many of us rarely ponder, but it's certainly worth considering. Starting with vodka, this potent spirit can have an alcohol by volume, or ABV in percent, of anywhere from 40 to a staggering 95%. That's right, some vodkas can be nearly pure alcohol. So if you're sipping on a vodka martini, remember, it's more than just a fancy cocktail. Next up is gin. This aromatic spirit, beloved in cocktails like the classic gin and tonic, typically has an ABV in percent ranging from 36 to 50%. So while it might taste refreshing, it packs a punch. Rum, the backbone of many a tropical drink, falls into the same range as gin, with an ABV in percent of 36 to 50%. Whether you're enjoying it in a mojito or a pina colada, rum is a spirit that should be consumed with awareness of its potency. Whiskey, the time-honored favorite of many, also sits in the 36 to 50% ABV in percent range. Whether it's a Scotch, a bourbon, or an Irish whiskey, each sip brings with it a good dose of alcohol. Tequila, the star of margaritas and many a wild party, typically has an ABV in percent of 50 to 51%. So remember, while it might go down easy, it's one of the stronger spirits on our list. Moving on to liqueurs, these sweet, often fruity spirits have an ABV in percent around 15%. While that might seem low compared to our previous contenders, don't be fooled. Their sweetness can often mask their alcohol content. Fortified wines, such as port or sherry, have an ABV of 16 to 24%. Unfortified wines, on the other hand, such as your typical red or white, have an ABV in percent of 14 to 16%. Both pack more alcohol than you might think, especially if you're used to sipping on beer. Speaking of beer, this frothy favorite typically has an ABV of 4 to 8%. However, some craft beers can reach much higher percentages, so always check the label. Lastly, malt drinks, often sweet and fizzy, have an ABV of around 15%. They might feel light and refreshing, but they're on par with liqueurs in terms of alcohol content. In conclusion, the alcohol percentages in our favorite drinks vary widely, from the 4% of a light beer to the 95% of a high-proof vodka. Understanding these figures can help us make informed choices about our alcohol consumption and ensure that our drinking remains responsible and enjoyable. So, next time you reach for your favorite drink, remember, it's not just about the taste, it's also about the alcohol content.